said in private. You cannot start airing your dirty linen in public. Like, that's so, like, we've been so animated, open his eyes, shouting, and I'm telling him to stop, I'm telling him to stop, he's not stopping, and I'm like, I don't even almost got pissed. So I'm like, how will I be with somebody that said he says cares about me? And I was just calm. And I was like, I apologize for it being offensive to you, but I'm just justifying the fact that I've never gotten this kind of energy from anybody who you being weird. I have a weird feeling, I'm feeling weird, and it's not more, and it's like that, or if it was in private, I can even try to understand. But he's speaking to me like that and disrespecting me like that in front of everybody. Like, I felt so bad. I was really crying. I broke down. I was crying in the arena. That's somebody that you say you care about. I do not know how to understand it. And when we are having conversation.
Oh, finally, we now know the real cause of the fight between Wanni and Shaun. Because we just kept speculating. And the fact that we didn't see the genesis of the fight. We just kept speculating. All we saw was the action. We were blaming everything on Shaun. We were feeling sorry for Wanni. Of course, it's normal, right? Alright, so just after their Indomie task, meanwhile, congratulations to the team. Is it we love veggies or something like that? But the team had to do with Ben, Victoria, Nelly, and Handy. They were the ones that won that task. So after the whole thing, they came inside the house, ate, and they're just relaxing. Meanwhile, Onyeka, the Mbadiwe twins, and Shaun, they are at the dining section talking about their tax wager, obviously. You know, one thing I like with Onyeka is that whatever is worth doing well. I think Onyeka vibes like me in that direction. Okay, let me just stop flattering myself. So they were in there in the lounge having the discussion of the wager tax. Meanwhile, Hani and Wanni, Tofa and Anita was busy massaging Tofa's leg. I think Tofa had an injury or so, or that running up and down that they kept doing the tax. I felt for both of them, though they finished running around and still couldn't even get any key to open the box and all of that. So that was in the wager tax, right? For those of you that didn't watch it, I didn't do a video about it, but it's just what it is, Sha. And then all of a sudden, Handy was asking Wanni, are you okay? She said, yeah, she's okay. She's somewhere in the house. So Tufa was like, what's up now? He saw there were some issues and all of that. And guess what? In the midst of this conversation, I don't know, Anita was on mute. And he said, no, Anita is not really cool with those girls like that. So Tufa asked her what it is. And that was when she started the conversation. And that is how we got to know what the issue was all about. Now, she and Shaun were having a conversation. You know, if there's anything we have kept complaining about, in as much as their stanships, we come and say that we hate their favorite, we do. One thing that if these fans of these twins girls will tell themselves the truth is that these girls do not have filter in their mouths. They talk too much, and you have to be very careful. You're on international television, so you have to mind what you say. Right now, she was talking about some other DJ. I don't know if she mentioned the name or she didn't mention the name of the DJ. She was talking to Shaun about the DJ, and she used the word weird. And Shaun was like, that word was wrong. It was the word weird was like an insultive word. And she said, no, it wasn't. You see the problem with English language, where you learnt your English is different from where I learnt my English. And so when I am communicating, and guess what? I have that too a lot sometimes with people. I put a particular word in a context and some people might pick offense. Yes, and vice versa. Some people too might put a particular word in a context and I might also feel offended. So that was what happened. There was a miscommunication. Shaun is a London boy, right? He's a British. So I would say basically he understands English like that, you know? And Wanni studied, of course, all her life was here in Nigeria. Though she went to good schools, right? And she speaks very good English as well. But the thing is that there are some context and some certain words that she might use that will come off like normal. Because here in Nigeria, when you say someone is weird or is a weirdo, we don't really see it as an insult per se. It comes as a definition of someone. Maybe the person is not really like, so he's not really what we expect him or her to be. I don't even know what I'm trying to say to you. You know, let's say we're in an environment where we come out in the morning and we greet our neighbors, and then probably there's someone in that same environment that comes out and doesn't greet the neighbors. Now, it's easy for us to say, this person is weird. not necessarily insults, right? But Shaun, where he's coming from, weird, probably happens to be an insult. And he now halted Wanni on that. And that was how the conversation started going back and forth, back and forth. You see, that's why sometimes I really don't like talking too much. Even to my friends, I talk and get to a particular point where I just decide to keep quiet, because sometimes too much talking can lead to misunderstandings, right? And honestly, I feel that was what happened between Shaun and Wanni. Before anything she said, he started opening his eyes, started shouting at her, started talking to her anyhow. Said that in fact in her life she has never been embarrassed like that, you know. And the whole thing to the kitchen, this guy was like, when you see this site where Shaun was having an argument with Wanni, to be honest with you, it was cringy. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable with it. Like, he was in her face. And Wanni is someone that I wouldn't say she's temperamental. It's not like I know her like that. But with the way they behave, both of them, the twins, and Wanni in particular, she could just go like this and mistakenly hit him. And that could lead to disqualification or even a strike. You know what I'm trying, I understand what I'm trying to say to you, because if there's anything I hate is when you're talking to me, especially in a disrespectful manner, and you're coming to my face. See, I don't know what I might do personally. And that was what he was doing to Wanni. Wanni was forced to even bring her sister Handy into the whole situation. Handy too was trying to also diffuse the situation, but it wasn't possible. They were literally, everyone in the house knew they were fighting. Like, Shaun was talking to her like a teacher talking to his pupil or to his student. Like, it was not, like I said, I didn't like what I saw, to be honest with you, right? At first I was feeling that, okay, maybe it's just content, because in their diary sessions, Shaun said he was going to, bring content and all of that. And somehow along the line, while he was talking to her, I think if I didn't miss one or two of his glances, he was like looking at the camera. So I felt that, is this content? But when later on Wanni was really crying to a point that she had to even go and get her dark glasses to cover her eyes, she really cried. And even after the whole thing, unlike Wanni that will always find a way to still fit into Shaun's space, but she decided to be on her own. And I'm like, okay, this is more serious than I thought. So basically, that is what I came here to come and tell you guys, the real cause of the fight between Wanni and Shaun. Thank you so much, and hope to see you next.